Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never... It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, doesn't wish to hurt you. Not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathway. You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. Very, very bad. All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so... The cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him. He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever met. Captain Ptolemy Price, the deceased superior officer, commented. That ain't easy on the ticker. Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. It's like 1,000...
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not...
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not... doesn't wish to hurt you. Not according... Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable. Can't say it's a pleasure.
The voice doesn't wish to hurt you. You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. Very, very bad. This is the end bad. There's no shame in surrender. Cops. A detective.
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Can't say it's a pleasure.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your... It's getting late, and it's...
Good night, officer.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over.
What is this place to you?
Overhead, you hear the forlorn shriek of seagulls. Far below the birds, a wooden boardwalk. A middle-aged man stands in a rundown shack on the edge of a fishing village, listening to the heater hum on the wall. Who are you talking to? There is no one here, not even Cole. Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves...
Revachol forever.
The bed is comforting, if a bit rough. The place feels...
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a...
This respite. You've earned it, brother. Bask in the... No, this is the one before that. We'll just keep cycling it for you.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
You're welcome, Harry boy.
After centuries of darkness, the alarm rings.
Go.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. Okay, here. Okay, here. Okay, here. Okay, here. I hope. Okay, here. Okay, here. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strain is like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure.
The voice coming through the world doesn't wish to hurt you. Not according to your ear canals. Wait, no. Not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural path. No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entire... Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner...
The explosion of static you blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning...
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
The pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very Yeah, let's not talk about that shit.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Turn this.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barrel. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this. There's only 3 meters between you and be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's one knife.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. Hardy.
Not anymore, no. This could have turned out pretty...
That's her admitting the bullet. It was dark in the shack. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she crept up.
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynch. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus and his boys, man. They told us...
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people...
A dull despair.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by? Like what? I already told you
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, there's plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people are...
She didn't hate him, okay?
I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me. You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been...
No one takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the...
She speaketh truth.
I considered her a good friend, yeah. Oh, so that's where you were going with this. Well, that's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us.
The lieutenant watches her expectantly.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausia was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled...
Clausia only said they may be kissed. Someone is lying here.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into...
Seriously, just move on.
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt... I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine.
No ill will then. It wasn't a problem for her.
What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse. Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated... I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living...
By the way, DeLorean tragedies are still held in high regard for innovation in language and motifs. They are also known for overwrought emotions leading to catastrophic outcomes.
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. Go ahead, it's your...
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
And? The gun store. Trigger Happy Jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal. Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
A knocked away AD front loader.
That isn't it.
That Merc was probably shot from a distance with a military-grade rifle. Otherwise, everyone at the Whirling would have...
No, they're not practical. Break too often. Yeah, evidence. Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be... Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar. So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never...
That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own.
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
That's your prerogative. Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left...
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she was.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum. Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum. Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
How should I know? As I keep saying,
Those rings around her eyes. Her tired...
Buddy's radio? You've been...
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authority.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a... Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck.
She lied to you about that, too.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admit. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to...
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a guy. Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise.
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with a disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to la puta madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both. Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough. You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition?
She's not going to change her mind. Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them? Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either. One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. That sound about right?
No idea. Satellite Officer Vicmere looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Minot. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
Lock.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me. What bunker? Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first bag of...
The violet white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor. Feels like your brain is swelling up in your skull.
Officer, are you okay?
The pain intensifies.
What are you doing? I told you.
855-269-2362-18.
Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so let's wrap this up. You have a tribunal is an awfully fancy word for what they're... Now they're gonna put on a show before meting out punishment. And you, watch out for yourselves. You seem to have a habit of walking... I'm guessing you don't know that a third mercenary had...
If one hornet can kill 40 honeybees in a minute,
The third. Oh,
As I said, watch out. Glad to have been of assistance. Best...
the woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
all things considered, it could have gone worse. No, I don't think she did it. She's someone else's. Now we have to come up with a really good excuse for why we walked right into her tent. Maybe there's something in there.
plain red tent stand. The tent looks old but well maintained. In the darkness of it reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More technological. You pocket the worn brown leather journal. A trusted friend left behind.
We should read this immediately, like
The plain red. A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflection.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in...
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance, and dense, short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. She is referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest she did? That name isn't mentioned. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre? M is great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since? Were you supposed to find her, even apart from the investigation then? On M's request? No, you wouldn't do something like this. This must be a mistake. The thought steadies your nerves. The journal stops shaking. Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. The entry ends abruptly. The most recent entry, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of...
It looks like she might have been...
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
Classio was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or... maybe she had an accomplice. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to...
Stop. Now, it is time. Crisis, death. You be prepared. Make your fingers reflexively reach for the Villier's 9mm pistol in your pocket.
Then you'd better get ready, whatever happened.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt.
Shut up! You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His...
Shh. This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just...
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Courty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are...
Fuck, she was right. That must be the third mercenary.
The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene. If this turns into a firefight, we...
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
The Mercenary Tribunal. No. We have to step in. This is not going to end well.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
I think he's calmed down a bit.
Pig fuck!
No, people are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
No one is going to kill anyone.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer, the leader, gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract. No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Make him talk, even if it comes to a fight. It's always, I don't know about this getting under his skin. He'll only get under yours. I'm barely keeping you together here. This is peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have. Move down from that. Please. All right, here we go. This is an illegal tribunal. Grano, really? None of this looks like it's going to do anything but piss. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
I am a Grinnell Major with over 15 years of live combat experience. When my colonel gets hanged by clay monkeys, I lead the platoon on a... Nah, I just have the biggest gun.
Technically, the other man has the biggest gun. But we're beyond that now.
King Reaper. You're right. But you see,
Okay, it's not much. But he's thinking about something easy now. Tell them these men didn't do it. There's a peaceful way out.
yeah? Who did then? How fucking convenient. You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? How about the kid? Tell me, it's a magic fucking sniper. One?
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court-martial won't decide who...
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a public place.
You're lying, DePaul.
You heard wrong. Your friend wasn't hanged. He was shot. We found a bullet in his head.
Fucking liars.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot is...
I missed.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end a Sunday night.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shot. Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
Yeah, I don't fucking act so well. Laylee had a hard-on for making faces for you natives. Fucking food aid shit. That shit. Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut to the ground.
As he moves, the interlock click, click, click. The realization comes to you, like a picture puzzle coming together. No, probably foster brothers. Elise was put...
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer. All sentenced to death by lead. Our colonel did what he had to do. It was either one cunt, or in your ship pipes, right in the fucker! He likes to fire mortars at random coordinates. Wipe out Mud Hut.
He was a good commander. I can see you miss him.
Oh yeah, he would have commanded this fuckhell way better than I did. But that didn't happen. It fucking murdered him. Had him stink the village up for 2 weeks after. And you fucks did not.
Listen, man. We told you we...
Told us what? What did you say? Who said that? Tattoo fuck! You'll die first! Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man. It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like.
He sways from left to right, inspecting you.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same farm and got beat into place by the same sick fuck. Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Okay, good.
Who? Laylee.
We researched him. We contacted the ICP and looked at his birth records.
They fucking put Laylee in a leaf compactor, and now...
It's a mindfuck, Corty. He wasn't put in a leaf compactor. They're making it up tough.
Open fire. We can't have that. Interfere now.
Fuck do you mean?
We've heard testimony. People say he was charismatic, a nice guy to be around.
Yeah, he liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflets. Squeeze a bit of kid tass here. If Laylee was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for sure. But me, I'm not a big fan of public...
Ready to open fire, Major. At your command.
Find his killer. Cop, his killer, stands right there. Shitting his pants. I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here.
Big talk, but that leaf compactor won't leave his mind anytime soon. It's a small thing, but it got him off center.
Oh yeah, that's Rude. Rude, the killer.
All of you cunts inside out.
The gunner, the raddest, the killer. What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Clerven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21. About 50 little stick figures. These men served in Semen. The two little white figures in the end are from when they moved to Rivershaw.
That's right. Plenty of chips here.
T, let's fucking do it.
Team. You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
The man stares at you with bloodshot eyes, a bull ready to
She's fucking gone! She fucking said, stay cool! Don't! The company bitch is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
Guys, I just get in the way. I don't even have a gun.
Hold your ground. Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing.
They're huddled close in a formation. Still, the rest will stay, even if it means dying here with him.
Who the fuck is that?
Glacier, the woman upstairs. Where is she?
She left!
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
What am I doing? My fucking establishment is under fire! You know how much windows cost? She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these assholes showed up!
We should have arrested her.
You can feel how upset he is with himself. Just for a second.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one! Yes. So what? Nah. I'm clear as day. Fucking...
Enough already! What is this?
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
A plume of smoke and fire erupts from the gun, and your hand goes numb from the explosion. The smoke drifts west with the wind. You hear the plaza erupt in violence, slow like a waterfall in reverse. There is a hole in his cheek. Blood gushes out as he stumbles backward, eyes filled with rage and disbelief. His lips, moving, swollen with fear, are trying to say, shoot him, but he can't. To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but an Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles, it will devastate you. From the corner of your eye, he's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifleman can take you out. You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it. his eyes in the slit. 0.4 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the barrel, like a honeycomb. This is an absolute destruction. God, you're so frail. Too frail to think further. Time is running out. The shot rings and you stumble. Something violently tugs at your shoulder, pushing you backwards with incredible force. A volcano of
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's. Then, 2 shots ring and you hear a scream. But you're too hurt to see who got hit. Blood gushes from the helmet's eye sockets as Rude, an unbelievable The helmet looks like the face of an ancient god of war, crying blood. Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Oh God, watch out. You see 2 crazed eyes stare at you through all the smoke and the panic. The look of vengeance, framed in blood, lips shaking. This is the last thing he'll do on Earth. But he will do it. He is your end. You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis, the pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark. The Hardy Boys are screaming, fighting, dying. Someone...
Stop! The cop! Protect the cop! He's down!
Feels slick and warm with blood. The pain is too strong to know what has happened. Most of what's down there. You can also feel the bone where the bullet went in. Something very sharp. Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain.
You're bleeding out. Stay with me. Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay awake.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. A slender white shadow towering. Someone stands there. Scream immediately. He's gonna die. No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips. Your eyes are full of fear. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns. You hear a faint scream. A woman's. Then the sound disappears. Like someone pressed stop on the tape. The woman is gone. So is Kim. Then the...
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door. Brother, you already were a ghost. Up there screaming along with all of them. It's the living who are ghosts. The dead are silent. They don't rattle windows or...
The fight? There is no fight. The fight. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. And rotting. And being disinfected. And smelling of drugs and feeling saliva in his mouth. Drifting in painkillers. Thrashing in his won't sleep.
He can't go. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the...
Hours turn to days. So...
The engine of a caprice.
No, it was him.
Life gets hard, but we go on. You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
Sunrise, Parabellum. Yes. The joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
The close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices. He's done with the jacket.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Dramamine? Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under the counter bad.
Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day. 2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse. And drink water. Sunrise, Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war.
Isn't that written on your...
It served you well. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely. Yes, we have also completely failed, but that's okay. What happened? You shot the Major in the face. Yes.
A blood-stained killer.
You're an officer of the RCM. As retaliation, the rifleman shot you. He hit. With his carabine. I was looking for a clear line of sight.
He sounds a tiny bit sorry.
I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive.
This is not the first person to die.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo did not make it. They both died before they made it to intensive care. Titus survives. So do Alain and the musician. I forget his name. Yes, he's still alive. You were bleeding out by then. I think you say that no one wants to party with you. And
thank you.
I killed her. And that's what happened. This is the one.
He nods.
The Pole was the last to die. Everhart had their bodies returned because we deterred them? Or Joyce did? Maybe the harbor. Maybe they are simply taking their time and will attack soon. I don't know. 3. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And Theo, he was just too old for combat. All. Yes, officer. 7 people are dead. It's not a success. But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized yet. And we are...
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies.
Pretty bad, officer. You've suffered 2 wounds. The first is below your The second shot hit you in the thigh, the left quadriceps. No major arteries were nicked, but the bullet had to be removed. Bacterial infection was treated with mercurochrome. We will see. No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Back to that shithole, he says.
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers. I'm sure they're worried about you.
That means he hasn't seen them around while you were out. They're not really worried about you. If they were, wouldn't they be here?
I don't know. I did. No need. Not very. I have a concussion from that woman beating me with the butt of her gun. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see her coming. Stupid of me. Easy now. How are you?
He nods.
I honestly don't know. Do you? Because we can't talk to Evrard. The harbor's in lockdown. Everyone in there is... I don't know what to think. It might not have been a bad idea. There is a pin somewhere in the machine. Something... Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know? Guard confirmed she left 20 minutes prior to the tribunal showing. I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects, was right. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect. It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around. We found one. All completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is to find one. Don't be narcissistic. Half the cops in Revachol West are his peonies. Even
that does make some sense.
What? Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have...
He's wrong.
Okay. We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else? We could find thousands more if we wanted.
But they seemed so mysterious.
No need to be melodramatic.
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
It really is very...
He sounds surprisingly weary.
No. Are you ready to limp? Good.
A gust of wind blows in from the bay. The duraluminum box around you vibrates imperceptibly. A familiar cold.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through.
The bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. You see the reflection of your... These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear...
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night. It would have been easy were it not for my concussion. We both got lucky. I am sure neither of us feels solid enough.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him.
A gift. I am not drawing my gun.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively toward his holster as he studies the note.
It's hardly surprising.
The same small, heavy door. No. You see the same two neon-lit shapes. A man and a woman. Only now...
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinique. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of the island in the bay.
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the threat seems to point. She was there that night. She would have known.
She had a long time to think about it.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her? I find that hard to believe. But at this point, what difference does it make? So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
I just haven't gotten a lot of...
He doesn't really believe this will yield anything. He is trying to justify... The lead is flimsy. You might as well go around Martinaise, looking under every rock and talking to every person. But what else is there?
I understand. Not a lot, no. Of course. I mean... How do we get there? Joyce Messier had her sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you. You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you... I give credit where credit is due, and that, sir, was a nice shot. I was watching and...
He really wants you to realize that he was also on the balcony looking by, in the danger zone, so...
I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, the drinks are not. It just felt I needed to specify. Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out that I don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Must be a fad. Yeah, I was, yeah. That's because I'm a badass.
It really took courage. Don't pick at him.
Yeah, I don't know. Clients were panicking. And also, I guess I sort of found out that I don't give a shit if I die.
He means it. It's not just boasting. It's something he discovered about himself.
No problem. They'll come back. They always do. Another thing. Great. I love those. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
Yeah, neither do I. Thank you for telling me, I guess.
Sounds like she has money tucked away somewhere. Enough to be a stable paying guest.
Yes?
Hi again, Gendarme. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Seeing you approach, the bruised...
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in. That was one hell of a shot. Hell of a shot. The fucks did not expect that. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is, thank you for intervening, fellas.
This is big. It's as big of a thank you as Titus Hardy can muster under any circumstances.
Well, cheers anyway, Copper. Theo was old. I think he'd be pretty happy with the way he went. Never could imagine him. But Angus, he was just a stupid kid. Didn't realize the mess he'd gotten into. Trusted me. Still, the balls on that kid. Went down fighting for someone.
Here it comes. The last one is the worst one.
And Glenn was my friend. Best I've ever had. I'd love that crazy homo like my own brother. We're all fucked without him. But what do? This job is shit. Dennis, you saw him run. He's a mean little shit and I never trusted him. He'd better run real fast now. Real fast. Well, yeah.
Memento Mori, or remember that you must die, is a slogan various religious orders have thrown around since the dawn of mankind to emphasize the vanity of earthly life and the transient nature of all earthly pursuits. In essence, it means one should...
Sure it does. Live every day like it's your last. First,
I'm going to find Dennis. I'm going to find him, and then I'm going...
The tone of the statement is so matter-of-fact. It's as though he were talking about picking up a morning newspaper.
We're hunting that rat down. Let it be known what happened. I guess I'll take a closer look at our union members. There's bound to be some... Might even ask Tibbs if he's tired of replacing windows. And maybe wants to have some fun with his brother. Anyway, don't you worry.
He's right. The numbers are replaceable. In an organization of thousands of men.
Don't know. Don't care.
Even after all that hell, he's still bitter about her?
Nope.
He did. He shrugs and tries to look uninterested.
Judging by the sight of you, I'd suggest crawling into bed with a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a big tit in the other.
Yeah, go pay Monica visiting Janrock. She's got a knack for making men forget about their worries. Biggest pair of milkers in no...
Hell, you both look like you could use some feminine company right now.
Thank you for your advice, Eugene, and you too, Alain. I do always appreciate a good use of the expression milkers.
It sincerely amuses him how hard these guys typecast themselves.
You're welcome, Bina Claude. You're all right in my book. Take care, coppers. You two look after yourselves now. Death passed on.
Copo Loco. And normal cop, I guess. Good luck in Shamrock. Scars.
Thanks for getting involved, guys. Not a lot of cops.
And if you ever feel like the uniform is holding you back.
And Titus Hardy himself would make a good officer. That man was born to lead.
I will, Capo. That's a promise. Now scoot, 'cause the Hardy boys got some mourning and drinking to do.
Take it easy on the drink. The danger has not passed. This...
Good point, Bino Claude. We'll keep the vault.
Wow, so someone's been a little boring. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's coppo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax. Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual good. Of course, to outright declare yourself something. The graffito has been painted over the traces. This was Cindy the Skull. The lieutenant crouches, touching the...
Looks like it, yes. And blood.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable? You could buy some smokes, light up a ciggy and throw it in there. You know, just to see what happens. See if it's flammable. It's better that way. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the...
We can sit on bed.
You can revisit the bench.
Mon Dieu, officer. It is worse than I thought. Believe me, maybe it's time to slow down, enjoy life a bit.
The graffito has been painted. This was...
Oh my god! Things have gotten out of hand! I thought the psychic stuff was bad, but the crime! It's even worse! I haven't been able to come to work for 3 days. The shop has been locked. No sales, gangbangers running around. Oh my god! Even the police can't take care of all this. Just look at you. Maybe I should close the bookstore and open a psychic studio. Yes! I could teach people to protect themselves against bad energies and to fight crime.
Yes, what Martinez really needs is...
Exactly. It's a brilliant idea. In the meantime, do buy the books. As many as you can. They won't be here for much longer.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Everyone says you started crying in the middle of a firefight and then bled like a pig. I guess that was cool. People, they say you'd kind of died for a moment, that you let your shit out already. Just don't think because you got half your dick shot off and you're an invalid now. Kuno doesn't reward weakness. It's business as usual with Kuno. Kuno's cold like that. Watch out, pig. Who knows?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive? Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but so what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local union muscle were behind it all. I'd reckon the case is closed, even if it kind of turned into a shit show. Hey, that's just what I heard. Old wives' tale. So, good luck with that, my man. Ain't easy being you, but hey, you're still breathing, right? Fuck it. I'm a bad guy now. There's things more important than hope. We are what we are. And you're a... Shoot. Sorry, man. Okay.
Is it wise to share information about the lieutenant through... What are you doing?
That's probably for the best. You keep your job to yourself. With a job...
Stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Yet you leave. It calls back to an older era where this hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or... No, man. Not today.
He says it matter-of-factly, like it's...
Time will tell. I'll tell Everard you dropped by. I'm sure he'll be glad. I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killer... I'm sure I'll be luckier than you, friend.
A lorry abandoned by its owner. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin, there's something odd about the passenger seat. Voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motor. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the mass of brown to Couron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath. No storm will ever drown Revachol. The wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital. Now just a ruin, the rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. These service tunnels were probably, despite the cold, figures move about cloaked in shadow, their breath escaping in what they travel. From eminent domain to perdition and onto the main, over the river Esperance. On Route 88, the road spreads. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to it.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14, with cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta. It's a dark parody. It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation is bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they...
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madre's name, without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensic.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and we close the rusty... You see several packaged. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to...
Here you go.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, "1."
No. You need tear to use the tear machine.
A colourful display of...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister. Here you go, mister.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of... This was Cindy the Skull. The fuel oil catches fire immediately with a low hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the lettering. Rain turns to vapor above the burning message, mingling with the black smoke. The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your fate. The flames warned him too.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of...
Give me a moment.
Yes?
between you and me, this is why I don't get involved in local politics. In its purest form.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at eye. Even I can see that. Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen. I'm not sure those were the last of the men with guns.
Then we'll be ready for them.
Man, you're like bleeding now. Reality's really messed you up. Wonderful. Not much, but it will do. This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard. I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look...
Magic animals? No, man, this is... No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions. Hey, hey! Fuck you, Tequila. All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull. You know, obsessive types. People with predilections. Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way... I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be... Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was... That is, if he even exists. Anyway, sometime later, he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when...
A paradigm-shattering revolution.
But then, something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand. You know Tequila, nose candy, the White Railroad, party...
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Or Emelan Gold. For the plateau on which most of the world...
Sinus salt, the White Knight...
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocrats.
Along with a number of more banal street names. Blow, of course, but also Flake, Powder, Purr. He's talking about cocaine, baby.
Shit, yeah, Tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high. Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be...
Right. Wrong. Do it all the time. All day, baby.
Hey, Tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his... Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "I know, Tequila, I know." But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly 1/4 kilo of coke jammed...
That's almost certainly, anatomically, wrong again, nerd.
That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. There are those who believe the designer was buried with this 1/4 key of nose candy still...
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. No. Wow. Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world... That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that... Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard...
No, my grandma always told me his
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can...
Now, detective. Always the skeptic. My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum. The gangsters say they...
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it.
I'm pretty sure...
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Don't listen to him or his...
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too.
Or maybe it's in the air. Or in an inch...
In a pyramid? Now that would be something.
They're pretty vague about it in general. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say...
Honest men on an honest...
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast. Whoa. Hold on.
What?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics. And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on it.
Wait. Maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast? Don't give up now.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance. Not that I can think of, currently. That might be the case, yes.
Officer, what happened?
You're not limping. You're you.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried.
That's nothing to brag about.
It's not serious. He'll be okay.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. Better than being dead. Hi. I guess you are. Of course. Can I help? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with ether, will you? If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you. Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad...
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used at...
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be...
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do. Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just fill...
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
And that iron. That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a... Gather the stick.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but...
I don't know what these are. They're lights. The fire guy.
Your nerve endings sting. They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. He doesn't like... Yes. I don't know.
Did you mean there are electric?
Yes. No, he doesn't live there. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there. Our father didn't say that. He didn't. I don't know. Doesn't even have anything to do with this year.
The two things are unconnected. Your question didn't make sense.
There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle. Have you made all the necessary preparations? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
What? Fine. Let's blast SAD FM then.
SAD FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last Want to be free.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine. In the silence, there is very little wind here today. The ghost is standing still.
Let's go.